Welcome to Forest Alchemy, where love, land, and community converge in a dance of wild creativity.
We're Mike and Allie, forest dwellers and soul partners, sharing stories and projects from our permaculture community homestead. Come gather by the fire, and let's explore the magic of connection, creation, and the living land. Hi, welcome to another episode of Forest Alchemy with Mike and Allie. And
Hello.
as we're walking through the garden, we have encountered a Keith in the wild who is weeding some grass, which is the worst weed around here.
In our sandy soils. Once upon a time, these soils here looked like beach sand.
Yeah, I was going to say the soil over here looks a little bit darker than a lot of the soil that
For sure.
I dug around
that's
here.
what wood chip mulch and tunneling rodents do. They stir it all up.
That's amazing. Yeah.
The tunneling rodents have their pros and cons, of course.
Right.
Yeah,
In fact, they were here right next in these peas, tunneling underneath the peas, and the peas were going, oh, wilting and croaking. I said, what the heck? I said, so I had to get the hose on with a thin stream of water and just blast it in here, collapse the tunnels, and walk where I could step to smush it down.
Yeah.
And, you know, traditionally or customarily, they tell you not to walk on your garden beds but here you have to walk on the garden beds to collapse the tunnels. Otherwise, everything dries out.
Yeah, at the last place we had a lot of
mulch.
ground squirrels, and they'd eat the onions. We couldn't grow sunchokes. It was frustrating.
Have you ever tried sunchokes here? They're one of my favorites.
I haven't yet, and I have grown them before.
I love them. At our house in Bangor, we had a huge patch of sunchokes, and I ate them all the time. I loved them raw in salads and cooked like potatoes with butter, roasted. Oh,
And you didn't
so
get all
yummy.
farty?
No. If you
'Cause some
eat too
people
many
do.
raw,
Farted chokes is what they call
farted
it.
chokes. Yeah.
I steamed them in an Instant Pot, and that worked really well that way too, because it broke down the inulin enough.
Yeah, it's the inulin.
And I fermented them as well.
Oh, fermenting would help a lot, I'm sure.
But I didn't eat them raw super often. But
I'm growing another cousin of that. It's also in the sunflower tribe. This one grows to 10, 11 feet.
Oh, wow.
And it has a big, massive reproductive tuber at the bottom that's very, very, very similar to sun tubers, the Jewish March. But in addition to the reproductive part, it also makes this big, like 8 to 16 inch long, up to 4 or 5 inches in diameter storage tubers, which are very, very sweet and crisp, kind of like a jicama, if you're familiar with that.
Oh yeah, I love jicama.
And again, it's got the inulin thing going on, and although it's very delicious raw, it'll make you a little bit farty.
Sure. What's
so
it called?
Can be oh yeah.
It'll come when it's ready.
It'll come around, but
Mystery plant.
yeah, it's in the sunflower family.
I'm trying to see if I can guess what
It'll
it
come
is.
back to me. I may even have it labeled somewhere. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of rooty things like taro.
Well, it's in the sunflower family. Taro is related to sweet potato, isn't it?
Is it?
Or not related, but no.
I think it's in the arum tribe,
Okay.
actually. I'm not entirely sure.
So how long have you been a permaculture human?
Oh, goodness gracious. Since 1978.
Oh, wow, that's the year I was born.
Oh wow.
How about that? Yeah, I was reading Coevolution Quarterly, published by the Whole Earth People. And it was a wonderful magazine. And it was like, it reviewed stuff, like the magazine. It eventually became Whole Earth Review.
Hi, Bunny.
and they stopped. This was all after they published the catalog, the famous Whole Earth catalogs.
Okay. Oh man, I wish I'd seen one of the.
Oh my goodness, you can still get them. They're also online. All the
Okay.
they've been digitized, and you can read them all online, and it's very good. But that's where I learned about permaculture, because there was Permaculture 1 just published, hot off the press, by David and Bill. And it's actually based on David's thesis.
Okay.
And Bill just sort of took off and ran with it, more or less. David's mom said, we hosted David's mom at our place in North Carolina years back, and she said, Mollison stole it from David. And he gets all the credit.
Oh.
Meanwhile, David stayed home and put it all into practice and had a stunning, very rich homestead and home life, of course. And only get into publishing and teaching and talking more later on. So he
put into practice first, so he had it down a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
So Bill was the pioneer out there, spreading the seeds.
And where was he located out of?
Both of them based. David Holmgren and Bill Mollison, both based in Australia.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're strong. Yeah, and so, goodness gracious, I had been studying all about gardening and reading mountains of organic gardening magazines that my grandfather had collected over the years, many years.
There.
And he was in the nursery business, and he had one of those original hardware stores where the slogan should have been, we don't have it, you don't need it. Because they bloody had everything you need for a homestead. Even my sister tried to run the business after it all kind of went, but they couldn't keep it going. The big box stores killed them.
Oh, bummer.
People didn't have to leave Marquette to come to Scandia, Michigan, 14 miles away. Once upon a time, they had like 12 whole big greenhouses.
Oh,
and
wow.
they helped us get, my grandfather worked for the railroad. And after all the forests were cut down for timber, Grandpa taught people how to grow food in our thin Michigan soils, so they could have something put on the railroad.
How was the soil immediately after the deforestation? Like, was there some
Pretty decent,
topsoil?
actually.
That's what I was wondering.
A little on the acid side, of course, but tillage took care of that in short order.
Yeah, so if they wouldn't have tilled it, it'd still be good topsoil?
Yeah. Plus, a lot of, especially the Upper Peninsula, was wetland. It is still wetland.
Mm-hmm.
There's a famous straight, long stretch that goes from the east side of the UP nearly to Munising, and it's called the Sini Stretch, and it's swamp. It's just a straight road through a swamp. There's a railroad off to the side too, so they're going to get it all. But must have a monumental work, but the most boring road on. No, it's pretty. It's gorgeous because swamp is a unique, wonderful.
Well, it's funny. I grew up in the swamps, but in Florida, and I never would have imagined.
But you have sand down there too.
Yeah. Yeah, but I wouldn't have imagined coming to Michigan. When I came to Michigan, I was like, well, really, except for the weather, Michigan and Florida are kind of similar in terms of ecosystem. I mean, there's no alligators here, but
North Florida?
North Florida, yeah. Yeah, North Florida is very swampy. Hey, buddy. Well, I mean, there's definitely swamp in South Florida. Everglades is all swamp.
So anyway, Mike hasn't made it clear. I'm his next door neighbor, and we've been in the permaculture publishing business for a good long time. Peter took on publishing the Permaculture Activist magazine way back when, and then I came along later on and kicked the magazine online, got a website happening, and started reaching out to social media and all. And that played a big role, but I didn't get paid for any of that.
Of course not.
Hard to make money in permaculture.
Yeah.
No, what is Mollison called permaculturists? world's largest social relief organization, underpaid social relief organization on the planet.
Yeah.
I can't remember if you specified in the beginning. This is Keith Johnson at Heartbeat Farms.
No, I didn't. I just said a wild Keith.
A wild
Oh,
Keith.
yes.
A Keith in the wild.
So, yeah. And we've got 10 acres here, 6 in woods, 4 becoming woodier as all of our perennials mature.
Yeah, you have a beautiful orchard over there.
Oh, amazing orchard. And I was just wandering through it today, looking at the cherries and plums forming.
Oh, yeah, that's coming up, cherry season, end of June.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The service berries are ripening.
Oh, they're service berries.
They're often called June berries.
Yeah.
I've never had them, and he's told me all about them, and I'm very excited to eat them.
I had them exactly once. We were going down the Hart Montague Trail.
Oh, jeez.
And there's the highway overpass that's just north of here. And whenever we go through there with the boys, they'd want to stop and like run up underneath the highway where that like the slanted cement is that everybody spray paints on. The boys like to like climb up there and get underneath the overpass. And one year we did that, and I noticed there's some low-growing shrubs kind of down there, and I wasn't sure what it was, so I got out my if I don't know a plant, I picture this, and it's been really helpful. It's helped me, like I've been reading plant books for years, and like it's hard to remember, but as soon as I use the app and like I see it in the wild, I will remember that plant forever. So it said that they were service berries.
It's sort of like walking around with a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A botanical friend. But how many of us have botanical friends anymore?
Right. Right.
I know. I'm
It's
a
hard
collection of them. I think they're important friends to have.
Yep.
I'm also one of those friends.
Yep.
Plant people.
Yeah. So it said it was service berry. So I didn't want to take the app's word for it. So I'd like look service berry up to confirm it, and sure enough, it was. So they had like, these nice dark berries on there, and I ate them, and they were so good.
When are they in
Bloomington,
season?
Indiana,
June.
where we lived for 10-ish years, a college town. Big mall, the landscapers put in, at least 100 serviceberry bushes, and they're all
Oh, wow.
8 feet wide,
Oh wow. Oh,
10 feet high,
sounds delicious.
dripping with fruit. And we'd go over there with buckets, and we'd fill buckets. We'd fill
Wow.
buckets with
I wonder
berries.
if they're still
And
there.
people would drive by. Are you sure they're so safe to eat? And oh no, you probably don't want to eat these. Our hands and mouths all purple and.
Yeah, it's like when we were in the line, I don't remember what we were in line for in the car,
Oh yeah.
and there were autumn olives all right next to us, and everyone's just sitting there, and Sean and Kaylin and I got out, and we're just like collecting berries, and everyone's just looking out their windows like, what are they doing? What are they eating?
Also, the library and the credit union also had service berries
wow.
in their landscape. So, that time of year, we gathered so many berries in town. We also knew where there were wild apple trees, sometimes in parking lots behind stores and such.
I went with Liberty went with, or she borrowed your truck one time, and we went to Muskegon. Elliot had an appointment, so we dropped Elliot off at his appointment, and then we went down to Menards to pick up shower surround, and then we came back and we found these crabapple trees. They were like the decent sized crab apples, like in the parking lot. So we were just like loading up on those.
Oh, I love crab apples.
By the way, there's an app or a program online that'll map. It's called Fallen Fruit,
Oh yeah.
Oh.
where they have random fruit trees planted everywhere and mapped, so you
Oh,
can
that's
track them in
cool.
your neighborhood and add more if need
Oh,
be.
neat.
They're all over here. Like you go down Minart Park, or not Minart Park. You go down.
Oh yeah, all along
fruit
our roadways here in the country, there are wild apples from people who have thrown fruit out their windows.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Is there still that
Or apple or
down in Montague where they built is it Whitehall where they built the new apartments next to the playground? There was that mulberry tree.
Yeah, there were mulberry
Did they
trees
cut
there.
that
Oh, yeah,
down
they
there?
cut those mulberry
Oh,
trees
bummer. Those were good.
Yeah, and over at the at Montague Park off Whitbeck, they cut those down too.
Mm.
Do you know about guerrilla grafting?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a group of people who didn't not just guerrilla gardening, but they would find things like a crabapple, for example. And they graft nice apples onto it, really useful apples onto it.
That's a
And
good
so
idea.
they'd have a crab apple with crab apples. And so you'd have multiple array of blossoms too, not all the same.
So Mike
Wow.
Hogue says, in permaculture there's zone 0 to 5, but Mike Hogue says that we actually have a zone 6 too. And the zone 6, it's a guerrilla gardening when you go off and you plant.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That is
Have
a
you
good-
spoken with Mike?
It's been a minute. I need to reach out
I
to him.
mean, for he should definitely.
yeah.
be
Oh
on
yeah,
the list
that's
for
a
this
really good
podcast.
idea.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
why I
we
didn't
should
think of
reach out
that.
to him.
Yeah, because
For
we
sure.
did a permaculture course at his house.
Did you?
Yeah,
How long ago? Was this when he was in Kalamazoo?
9 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's down in Fort Wayne now.
He moved to Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, him and his
I
partner
forgot.
split. So she stayed with Lily House and he went down to Fort Wayne.
We could still do a phone.
Yeah. Yeah, I like his
Any-
technique. He just like plants into whatever's there.
Yeah, I do more or less the same. I'm sticking in today. I was putting my beautiful multicolored flowers in the greenhouse.
Okay.
The geraniums,
Oh yeah.
because they get so rambunctious. I have to cut them back all the time. But I stick the cuttings out all over in the landscape, and they're 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 8 to 16-inch cuttings, and I put at least 2/3 of it underground, usually not very deep, and I don't overwater because they hate to be too wet in their root growing period, and they will rot if you give them too much water.
And they root pretty easily.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they'll take a while. They'll be a month before they really start showing up. But that's fine. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get some later season flowers out here.
Yeah, I'm trying out some lovely new things. I hadn't grown these in quite a long time. Moonflower.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Do you know it? It's a morning glory.
Datura.
No.
No?
It's not in that tribe. Datura is Solanaceae.
Okay.
Tomato family. This one is in the same family as Morning Glory, which is in the branch of the sweet potato
Oh, okay.
family.
Oh, so there's where the sweet potato family member is.
And that's the one that it opens up at night.
Yeah,
And they're-
convolvulaceae.
And they have really big white
This one
flowers.
has big flowers.
Yeah.
Like
We had it in our garden in Colorado.
And they're fragrant at night.
Mhm.
And moon moths come out
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I gotta see.
beautiful.
because they open at night and close during the day.
Beautiful.
So
Yeah,
anyway,
I love them.
Hadn't grown those in a while.
Yeah, I love walking over here and seeing everything in flower.
You've
Oh.
got some peas over here.
Yeah, I got some. The earliest peas were over beside our what do you call our mudroom slash herb dryer slash clothes dryer slash interim space. It's got the regular greenhouse panels on three sides, the roof and two east and west sides, and it gets wicked hot in there.
Oh, I
Yeah,
can
I bet.
imagine.
But we use it to dry seeds and herbs.
Yeah.
I can dry parsley in there very quick. I just put a cover over it so it doesn't lose all its color.
Okay.
But it dries
Also,
very
it's
nicely.
fade.
Yeah, without
And it still
losing-
dries out nice. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Are
So
these
we use that
purple
all the time,
beans?
and of course that's a little zone 1 microclimate. It's a hot spot, and so the peas up against the east side are like 2 feet tall now.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
They'll be blooming any day now.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Well,
these
we
ones
can
look
chat
good.
as we walk.
All right.
Sure.
I can get up from here. Oof. Oh, don't step on the cilantro. Yeah, I'm trying to encourage cilantro as a weed. So far, so good.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
This is, you can't see it, of course, but this is one of a couple gardens that are enclosed in fences to keep the rabbits and deer out.
I see some
Rabbits
poppies in
being
here.
them. And what you see is a common weed, which is poppies. Annual poppies of all kinds and colors, and they are glorious when they're in.
Poppies.
Oh,
Yeah.
and even the California poppies, they will naturalize here.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's good. I've got some California poppy seeds.
And California poppies don't just come in orange either, but a whole array of reds and pinks and bicolors and doubles.
I think I had some red ones.
Oh my goodness, yes, you should definitely look into them. So you can see the potatoes starting to push up through the mulch here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I see them. Little baby friends.
And this is one of the few patches of potatoes.
Is it all the same kind of
cabbages.
potato here?
I think there's two kinds, one here and one here.
That's what I was thinking.
Got peppers here surrounded by bottles pushed into the ground around them to act as little mini greenhouses.
Oh, that's a good
Microclimates.
idea.
So she's talked about how she had good luck with planting peppers and tires, but I'm iffy of tires and chemicals. So I was thinking if we just took some wood
They're pretty stable.
and like charred the wood to put around it so the wood was black, that could have the same effect as well.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah, I like that.
So he's got the pepper, and then there's 4 glass bottles.
Dark wine bottles.
Yeah, dark wine bottles. Yeah.
And I had another friend that took bricks and kind of
Yeah,
stacked a wall of bricks up on the
You can
south
totally
side.
do that. Yeah.
And those ones would survive when it got
Mini
really cold.
microclimates is what it
Yeah.
comes down to.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Uh-huh. And I use vertical garden space a lot for peas and tomatoes and beans. And all the beans you're seeing in here are all volunteers from last year.
Oh wow.
Because these were covered with beans that hung here all winter long, and they've been dropping since then. And they're sprouting all over the place. So I'm digging up a bunch and transplanting them to particular zones so I don't need them coming up in the pathways. And here I've got celery and mixed in with rows of, what do you call, radishes that are also interplanted with carrots and spinach.
Okay.
And the spinach and the radishes get thinned out and hopefully leave carrots room and time to grow.
What's that right there? That kind of bigger
That
bush?
is a perennial vegetable in the celery tribe called skirret.
Oh, okay.
Spirit.
And Mike
And
Coates talked a lot
you eat
about
the
that one.
roots.
I haven't tried that yet.
And it's celery-like. It's sort of a starchy celery in a curious
But
way.
it's a root.
But they're thin roots, but they can get to be little finger sized.
Okay.
When do you harvest that?
Oh, I don't know. Once the bunch been around a while. I had a bunch more in this garden spot, but I moved them out into the orchard where the deer found they had a liking for them.
Oh.
They didn't kill them, and they're back this year. But we'll see if they maintain themselves against the predators. Meanwhile, where those kind of predators aren't a condition, this would be a good candidate for a mulch crop because it can get quite tall.
Yeah.
Another, maybe as much as 3 feet. Good dense foliage. I haven't tasted the foliage now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I should turn that down there. Yeah, so we don't get copyrighted.
These aren't very tasty.
Well, it has a celery-ish flavor.
And tell me the name one more time.
Skirret.
Oh yeah, it does taste like celery.
Mm-hmm. And cabbage. Even things I don't eat, like this
Oh, Swiss chard.
chard.
What
I
are
got
these?
beans, lots of beans, bush beans all around here. Some really nice ones. One of my favorites is a wax bean with this almost round black seed called Miracle of Venice. Very nice.
And a friend brought us up some Scarlet Runner beans.
I've been growing them for 40 years. And I have had 3 varieties to start with, but growing those and saving seeds for that long a time, I've, I don't know, flushed out of the gene pool other colors.
Oh.
So I had where the flower was bicolor red and white, I had bicolor white and red, or pink and white and pink, or pink only or white only. Even the white only ones had white only seeds. I planted them, never saw a white flower, never saw another white seed. It was just came and went. But they might show up again.
The fun of seed saving.
And all the seeds, each variety has a different color seed too, so it's quite attractive.
And that looks like mallow family? Marshmallow.
Yeah, marshmallow. That's the one. This one is actually a selected variety for its.
Yeah, it's got these
it has
purple,
larger flowers,
and
beautiful purple flowers.
There's these purple veins in the leaves that ours doesn't have.
Yeah, the flower is much larger than the wild ones.
Oh, and then catnip.
Catnip
and what are
Sweet
these?
William.
Sweet William.
Dianthus,
Okay.
Dianthus.
Oh, okay.
I started them all from seed, and it took me 2 years to see flowers because they tend to be biennial. And I planted many, and not all of them overwintered, but many of them self-sowed. And if you want seedlings, I can get you bunches.
Okay.
There's a spot over here by our pit greenhouse.
I see some vetch down here.
And look at that big purple asparagus.
A loner asparagus. At our last place,
How cute.
there were asparagus fields, a lot of asparagus fields kind of not right directly by us, but in the general area. So we just had random asparagus plants.
On all the roadsides you find wild asparagus. Yeah. I've been playing here on the east side of our house / greenhouse.
That's looking beautiful over here.
It looks so gorgeous.
I've been a stonemason much of my life as a landscaper, and I've done thousands of tons
so this is all
of landscape materials.
concrete, broken concrete.
We call this urbanite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good
Okay,
name.
I've heard urbanite, but I didn't realize it was broken concrete.
This particular concrete is nice because it has no rebar in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a driveway. And it had a lot of, what do you call it, some kind of fiber in it.
Oh, okay, to help it
And
not crack.
it breaks much better because concrete is notorious for breaking into triangles instead of nice squares or rectangles. But this stuff broke more consistently into the shapes I want them to break into.
Well, that's handy.
So it's very nice. And I even have a dry riverbed that flows when it rains from runoff from the rooftop. And it's undergoing revision right now. So I'm going to undo all of it and put a new liner in it because rodents decided that the water was going to go somewhere else.
Oh,
and they took it
okay,
underground,
all
and then it showed up further down where I
said,
didn't want
Keith,
it.
I think you're wrong, actually. The water wants to go this way. So you have a
gutter.
A gutter that you hooked up, and then you've got a tunnel coming out down here, and then does it go down through here?
Yeah, it actually goes right across this pathway, but I've left a crack in it, as it were, for it to drain. Although the other night we had enough so that it actually washed away a little sand from here because it was pretty extreme. So I may have to modify it just a little bit or add a little bit more rock so it doesn't wash away.
Oh, and some prickly pear.
Yes, that's a native Michigan prickly pear. Beautiful yellow flower.
Oh, I see it right in front of the sorrel.
Yeah, there's another one up there. During the winter, they become desiccated, and they swell up and fatten up and become plump again during the summer.
I've got a chunk of one. I forget where I found it at that I brought home.
This one, the original we found here, but we also brought with us a cultivar we found on Pelee Island in Lake Erie, which is Canada's southernmost point. And it was at a winery there. And it had fewer and shorter thorns than the wild one we found growing here.
Oh, well, that's handy.
So it's very nice.
There's lilies over there?
Those are tiger lilies.
Okay.
Right next to a cup plant that I hacked mercilessly for mulch.
And this friend over here looks like it could be pawpaw.
That's pawpaw seedlings, and there must be there's 6 or 7 there. And next year I'm going to dig them up and move them. I had another half dozen in the main garden that I dug up this year and moved them down by the ponds.
Have they wintered here?
Oh, they winter here just fine.
Okay.
But all the ones I moved are making beautiful new leaves and are looking
amazing.
Really happy.
Oh, we got to put some of those along the edge of the woods.
Where's the pawpaw?
Up,
Down by the ponds.
up against the gutter.
But there's by the gutter in the corner here.
It's funny, they kind of look like avocado.
They do look like avocado. They're the northernmost variety of a tropical species, which includes, oh my goodness, there's a whole bunch of them.
These ones here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Asamina is its tribe.
Or
And
grape.
of course, that's thornless blackberry. We make big use of thornless blackberry around here.
Oh,
We
those are
treat it
so tasty fresh.
like a grape. But every year its fruiting material dies. So it's really easy to prune.
Huh.
After it fruits, the fruiting wood dies, and it's very easy to prune.
Like
you know,
raspberry.
And so
Yeah,
this
like
is
raspberries.
it too here, right?
Yeah.
But here it's rather
Yeah, it is.
extensive.
It is
and
treated like a grape. I see that.
they're starting to make flowers.
You've got a sunflower almost flowering.
I know. I started. Again, microclimate. That's
Yeah.
some of the first flowers I put up were up against this wall, which it's a heat sink.
So since nobody can see what we're doing currently, because we're just audio only, we're standing on the outside of the south side of the greenhouse that's attached to the house.
Where there are dry stacked block walls that making retaining walls up against the greenhouse, adding insulation. The west wall is mostly, again, bermed up at least 4 feet. And so sort of like a sunken greenhouse in a sense. And it didn't get below 40 this winter with no
the greenhouse.
supplemental heat.
Oh wow!
Although
that's pretty good.
sometimes we had a fire in the sauna, since we dry our clothes there in the winter.
Yeah.
And we take the surplus heat and blow it through a special door in the sauna, right into the greenhouse. We also vent our kitchen cook stove into the greenhouse.
Oh, that's a good idea. Because otherwise it's
We
just going
take the
outside.
CO2, and
Yeah.
whatnot. And so it's a very useful system. And in the fall and in the spring, when it's cold out, but we want heat in, and it's a sunny day and the greenhouse is hot, we can take the sauna fan, blow cool air from the house into the greenhouse, and open the windows into the kitchen.
Okay, so you create a positive pressure in the greenhouse.
Yeah, we have to be careful burning fires when we're doing that,
Oh,
because
yeah.
if we mess up the air balance ratio, we end up sucking smoke down out of the stove.
Oh.
Which is a nuisance.
Yeah, we
But
had.
that's because our house is so tight.
Right.
If it were a leaky house, we wouldn't have that problem.
Do you use an HRV?
What's an HRV?
Heat recovery ventilator. It's where you bring in air from the outside. You're basically doing an air exchange and exchanging and bringing the heat back in. So you're like warming the air as it's coming into the house. So that way you're not bringing entirely cold air into your house.
Right. Some people I've seen those piped to a vent underneath their wood stove right directly from the outdoors.
Oh yeah.
Which makes a lot of very practical sense.
Yeah, cold
so you
air
get a
intake
fresh
for the
exchange
stove.
of air, and it goes right directly into a hot spot.
What is this, friend?
Larkspur.
Larkspur. Okay.
And a short cosmos. I said, try a short one this year because they get so tall and they fall over and break. And look, here's a volunteer peach.
Oh wow.
Well, it's got skinnier leaves.
Yeah. I don't think it is this 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 of these dwarf peaches. One of them down there that's about 4 foot tall is 25 years old.
Have you ever read Mark Shepard's book? I think it's Restorative Agriculture. He talks in there about starting apple trees from seeds and like basically having a bed where you're starting all these apple trees, and as they grow, you take cuttings from them and you basically graft a bunch onto one tree, so you're taking up less space and trying to find new apple varieties. Have you ever played around with that at all?
Well, that's an interesting technique, yeah. And of course, what's the name of his method? To do nothing?
Oh, yeah. What is that? Oh, I'm blanking on his term. He had an acronym for that.
Yeah, he has an
Stun. Sheer, total, utter neglect.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love your bone collection over here. I collect
Yeah,
bones.
deer bones. Yeah, I collect deer bones. And
Yeah,
of
Bonnie
course,
brings me some.
Bonnie distributes them across the landscape.
Yep.
And she can find them when she wants them.
Yeah, I paint them. And
Look at these irises.
They're
If you put your nose,
gorgeous.
you don't really have to. You can almost smell them from here. But I love irises.
So you've got the walking onions all over. I noticed the walking onions don't get quite as tall and fat in our soil here as I've seen them elsewhere.
It depends on the soil. Yeah, better soil, bigger onions. That's just the name of the game.
Is that castor?
Cleome.
Cleome.
A plant that looks like cannabis. And even...
oh, it does.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it smells a little
It
skunky.
smells like it too. Wow. Yeah, it does.
Let's see. I thought I want one starting to bloom over there, a pink one, but they're nice. So they're annual, and again, they can get very tall, 4 feet tall.
Are they related?
No, not that I know. Let's see. I don't even know where.
That's so funny. They really do.
I don't know what family they're in.
That's interesting.
I put out some loofah.
Oh, we were
loofah.
just talking about loofah.
I planted them twice here. The cold
Oh,
kind of knocked
great.
out the first one.
Oh,
They've
bummer.
been crunchy munchied by something or other. I think it was a cutworm.
Oh.
This right here is the loofah?
So this is my new approach. It's a bottomless pot, but with slippery
Oh.
sides, so it can keep the pill bugs and hopefully other critters off. And
And then it's a vine, so it'll go up here, right?
yeah.
So you know Jennifer up in New Era, Jennifer and Mark.
Yeah.
She was fighting the pill bugs, and she said she put cedar chips around her plants in the greenhouse, and that got them to leave them alone.
Well, wood chips in general in the greenhouse are a very useful thing. Wood shavings are very good because,
Okay.
in addition, especially wood shavings, because they're lighter in color, light bounces off of them, and the plants benefit from that extra light in an otherwise lower light situation. But in addition to that, the decomposing wood is one of their foods.
Okay, so
Especially if
they're
they
just
have
focused on eating it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially after the fungi get their enzymes into it to soften it up a little bit.
Well, I passed along to her your tip. You mentioned that you were just bringing in grass into the greenhouse, and they'd focus on that before the plants.
Yes,
so I
right.
passed along that tip to her as well.
That's a
Right,
good
right.
idea.
Alternate food for them.
Right.
Yeah, trap.
I'm
crop.
also putting pots with slippery insides set into the ground with their lip at ground level, and some shredded leafy material, green material. And I put pill bugs in there, and sometimes they fall in on their own. But they can't get out.
Yeah.
And as long as I keep feeding them and don't water and drown them, they accumulate. And I can toss them over into the pond for the goldfish to eat,
Yeah.
or I can toss them over to the chicken yard.
Need some for earrings.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
She encapsulates dead bugs in resin for earrings and other jewelry.
Yeah. I collect lots of dead things. As you
I found a big chunk of big thick moss one
Oh,
time, and I
wow.
was going to transplant it, and I put it temporarily into the greenhouse in one spot there, and the pill bugs moved on that moss like it was manna from heaven. I've got little video movies of them just completely destroying it, wiping it completely from existence.
Wow.
I didn't know they were that destructive.
I put banana peels in the greenhouse, and they chow down on the banana peels, which means all their I like to call them mini manure spreaders
Oh yeah.
because they're
Yeah,
fertilizer
like
spreaders.
worms.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with pill bug poop.
Is that a loofah there on the side of the drying room?
I think that's
peas.
pea. Yeah.
No, on the inside. I see that.
No, but that is a gourd. One of my snake gourds.
Okay.
What are
And I
these
grow
flowers here?
dipper gourds and
These are gorgeous. What are those called again?
columbine.
Oh, those are columbine.
Isn't that
And there's
a
all
nice
different colors. But
This one's white and purple.
and the inside is really, really pretty. You have to kind of like go under and look up. I got a cool picture. They're just gorgeous with the
And they're
yellow in
striped
them, and
inside too.
they're
So
so beautiful.
you're gonna get a.
Yeah, those are gorgeous. Do they smell good? I didn't even smell them.
Hardly anything. This is a new one.
Oh, what is that guy?
Forget-me-nots.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we
we just saw some blue ones.
we brought home some blue ones. There was went to pick up our stove at a place in Spring Lake, and the guy's like, "Oh, they're gonna tear out this entire yard. It was like a natural planted yard,
It was gorgeous.
and they were gonna. He was like a handyman there, and he said that the owners were gonna be selling the house, and they're just gonna tear everything out and put in grass. So take what we want. So we got forget-me-nots and more chocolate mint and
Yeah, we got lots of mint.
I see that too.
wild violets.
Oh, it's so sad.
What do you call these?
Oh, coleus.
Coleus. I learned this year that coleus is very easy to grow from seed,
Oh,
and its seedlings look like little basils.
oh,
It's
cute.
not surprising, and they're both in the labiate tribe, they're in the mint family.
And apparently the root can be used as it can help with anxiety.
Right,
Oh,
there's a
really?
number of edible ones, so the leaves are eaten. I was studying it the other day, looked it up. But this coleus in general, like mints in general, are extremely easy to propagate from cuttings. I even just discovered that you can propagate coleus from leaf cuttings. You stick the stem of the leaf in water and it grows roots and starts
Oh,
forming
wow.
a little plantlet at the bottom.
I didn't realize coleus was in the mint family.
Oh yeah.
Me neither.
Opposite, alternate, leaf pattern, square
Square
stem,
stems.
all the labiate signs.
That's a big geode.
Yeah, this one
Indiana
too.
geodes, yeah.
Beautiful.
In every drainage and watershed in southern Indiana, in the hills of southern Indiana, you will find geodes
Oh wow.
by the thousands. At the dry creeks, you'll find the riverbed bottoms. Thousands and thousands. Some bigger than your head. And I mean, some really whoppers.
How long ago were you guys in Bloomington?
10-ish years or so.
Did you were you familiar with Sage Valley? They were a little bit west of there. It's an eco village.
These are new.
Oh, is that the
Oh, beautiful.
Callas.
Callas?
I'm going to have to dig them up come fall, but oh my goodness, aren't they pretty?
They're so beautiful.
I love how
What a
there's
nice
just-
little pop of color.
I love how there's just kind of kale interspersed in all the in
Yeah.
all the beds.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a very colorful kale, so I'm scattering it around for a sort of semi-ornamental. Look, the first flowers on the peas.
Oh, these peas are beautiful. I like how you just put the sticks in there in the ground for them to climb up.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
the dead
I love
sticks
all the
from last
sticks.
year's flowers.
Ah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love all of the stick uses that you have in the garden.
Well,
All the
talk to the kids
trellising
and just tell it the most commonly used toy is a stick.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So the
especially
same
our
is true
kids.
for gardeners.
Oh my
Even little
gosh.
Skies
I
like
can't
starts
tell you
wandering
how
around
many
the stick.
times I've just grabbed a nearby stick out of the mulch and started digging.
Yeah.
it's still the old
Uh-huh.
go-to.
Yeah, I was inspired by all of your sticks when we needed a pole for one of our for where we're putting the ducks. The fence was kind of saggy, and I was reminded of over here, and I just got a stick, and it actually worked really well holding it up.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I need to go out back and get a stick, and she's like, no, let's just do like they do next door and just use a stick. There's a bunch right next
Well, I
next
made
to the
a
fence.
trellis over here for this southern grape,
Yeah.
and I used its vines from the previous year to create a web, a
that's a good
woven
idea.
web to grow on.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And these are
Circle of
alpine.
life.
These are alpine strawberries. I already ate some out of the greenhouse, but you can
Oh,
see
wow.
they are very close to being ripe. Oh my.
Oh,
Are those Baker Creek?
No.
I had some Baker Creek
These are
ones.
plants I've been dividing and dividing and dividing and dividing and dividing forever.
So I struggle to identify what is my favorite fruit, because typically my favorite fruit is whatever's in season, fresh off the plant in the moment. And
As soon as you put it in your mouth, yeah, me too.
So the salvia tribe is yet another labia. Very, very lovely. I was looking at these flowers with a 60 power lens the other day.
Huh.
Oh,
Oh
cool.
my God, they're just
Oh, that'd be cool.
quite stunning.
I can
Wow.
smell these.
Oh, yeah. They're beautiful. Oh, I don't smell those. Maybe it's something else I smell.
You know what that is?
Oh, look at these beautiful red ones.
The
What are these?
first
Oh, wow.
Sweet Williams.
Oh,
to
these
bloom
are Sweet
open.
Williams. Look, Mike. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh,
Celery tribe.
that's tasty. It's like a,
A little bit goes a long ways.
yeah, at first
The
there's like
flower?
a,
Oh, this. What is this?
Lovage.
oh, okay.
It's like
Mmm.
celery on steroids.
Yeah. Oh, way
Ooh,
more
lovely.
complex.
But
Can you
it's
eat the stalks? Or do you eat the
it's
leaves?
Are they
leaves,
pretty
leaves
fibrous?
usually. But it dies back after it blooms.
Does it come back again, or does it wait till
It
next
keeps
year?
coming back. Each year it gets taller and taller. So this last year it was only about this tall. So no, it's another foot taller this year, up to 3 feet. So I expect as it gets old, it'll get bigger.
Oh, your currant bush is looking happy over here.
Oh yeah. This is a black currant, but we have lots of white currants. White currants are noted for their precociousness, which is to say, even when the plants are very small, they fruit heavily.
Yeah, we've got 2 red currants over there, and they've got lots of fruits on them already.
Oh, good. I hope to trade with you because they're all
Oh,
the
yes,
currants and
please.
gooseberries extremely easy to propagate by cuttings, by layering, laying a branch down and putting a rock on it, or sometimes they layer themselves. For goodness sakes, the leaves pile up around them, and next thing you know, all the stems are covered with roots, and you can cut them off and move them. So if you take
that's
100
good to know.
cuttings of these, and you only get 95, you've done something wrong.
Your peach trees are looking pretty good. Do you get peaches on those yet?
Yes. We've had very, very fine
These right here?
healed
Yeah.
peaches.
Oh, I miss my peach tree so much. I had a peach tree in Wyoming, and I tried to move it to New Era with me, and I did it when it was flowering.
Oh, the worst kind.
Yeah, it was the only time I had. And I'm gonna try because I'm gonna miss this tree, and it didn't work. I should just let. Well, I never staked it, so it just kept leaning further and further. What is?
It's a fiber plant.
Oh, flax. So
Oh,
linen. So
yeah.
linen.
Linen. Yeah, you make
Oh.
linen out of it.
Oh, that.
But you can eat the flowers.
I've seen them when they're pink.
That's
They're not
usually
them?
not necessarily a perennial variety. These are perennial, truly perennial. They come back year after year, and I'm starting to see seedlings around.
Mmm. Yeah,
So
they're tasty.
that's a very good sign.
Oh, I think I still taste that other plant too. It's very strong.
Lilies,
yeah.
lots of lilies.
I see lots of
These are
lilies.
supposed to grow to 8 feet tall
Wow.
after a few more years.
This is a gorgeous color. for
Yeah, I need to get it. I need to increase my iris collection. I also have lots and lots of daylilies, all of which are edible, but not irises.
A little spicy.
Alliums. I grow lots and lots of alliums, ornamental types and whatnot.
Oh, what are these?
This one has a little pink flower and a delicious leaf. Very nice in fried eggs or whatever.
Oh, yummy.
Oh, it's like a flat chive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And what is it? What's it called?
Just one of the many flowering alliums. This one has a little, inch and a half, 1 inch flower ball, white with a pink tinge, and it's quite nice.
Okay.
That is tasty.
And I've got chives blooming up a storm over there, and over here I've got a super tall, large one. And,
On time.
Yeah, these chives.
This
are
is
pretty too.
Greek oregano.
Oh, oregano.
Okay.
This is the powerful stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that stuff
This
is
is the
good.
stuff that burns your tongue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those little leaves.
Yeah, it makes a little. Oh, that's a good combination with this.
Oh,
Allium.
wow, that is strong.
That's way strong.
Oh my gosh, yummy. Oh, I want to put it in some olive oil and infuse it. That would be good.
That would
Here's
be
some
very
salad
lovely.
dressing.
Well, now is the perfect time to harvest because there's all these lovely little short ones before they bloom, and they're going to be blooming before you know it. So now would be the time.
Would you mind if I came and grabbed some later to put in olive oil?
Absolutely. Come
I'll
on.
share it with you, of
Because
course.
this is just one of several patches. There's another one over there and there, more around. So I want to have, I would like to encourage big beds of this.
What is this? These leaves are borage-like, but I didn't think it was woody.
Oh. Yeah, this is woody. This is in the same family as the high bush cranberry, viburnum.
Oh, okay.
This wasn't the one I was hoping for, but when I moved a piece of it from Indiana, but it has pretty flowers.
Is that peony?
Peonies, yeah, lots of peonies around.
We moved a peony over from the old house, and it's looking pretty nice. Oh, more currants.
Yeah, the white currants are in a long row over there.
Now we're moving over
So
into
this
the orchard.
This is a yellow cherry.
Oh, cherry. Yeah, the leaves looked from a distance. The leaves look peach-like.
Oh, that's cherry?
That's cherry. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, look at that.
The aim was to
how
put all
cute.
the tallest trees, the cherries, on the north side of the orchard, and steadily smaller trees as you went south to create the effect of a sort of a hill
Oh,
of
okay.
foliage, as it
Yeah.
were. And again, it's all about microclimate.
What's growing on
Sure.
this one over here? I see what looks like little berries.
Those are the seed pods from last year of the
Oh, okay.
speckled
Yeah.
it's a nitrogen fixing plant, which we have many species of nitrogen fixing plant in the orchard and in
cute.
the landscape.
They look little pine
But
cones.
this is what the hell do you call them?
Look, they look like little baby pine cones.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
They're
they're
so
in the birch tribe.
Oh, yeah, I can see it in the leaves.
Yeah.
Is this honey locust?
And this is Siberian pea shrub.
Oh.
Oh.
Pretty, eh?
Still a legume.
Are these edible?
I don't know.
Do you have any reachable black locust trees around here? We had this black locust grove at the old house, and it smelled so amazing when it was in
They're
flower.
not blooming yet, but they will be soon.
And you could, since they were within reach, we just go grab handfuls of flowers and eat them. They were so delicious.
So good. Yeah.
By the way, this one I couldn't remember the name. The speckled alder.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
The alder
Yeah.
tribe, which notoriously grows in damp, wet soils or near stream sides.
Kind of tastes like black locust flowers a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Yeah,
And it almost had like at first I thought it tasted kind of like Jerusalem artichoke.
So this also in the birch family,
So
because
this is
these.
the flower, of course, for the alder
Okay.
that becomes these seed pods.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So we had paper
Seed
birch. There's a paper birch behind my grandma's house, next to the driveway. And every time I walk past it or ride my bike past it, I'd grab these off it and pull them apart with my hand.
Yes.
It's kind of like a nature's fidget toy.
Oh, all I can smell is oregano in that.
Right, it's on your fingers. But here's some of those skirrets that I moved over into the orchard. You can see they're
Okay,
not
yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see some stems sticking up over here.
notched a little bit.
Did you put something here too? Or is that cut back?
Yes, those are.
Can I put this oregano in your pocket?
You forget. It was something. I think it was a Shasta daisy or something.
Okay.
Like that.
Hmm.
I think
Yeah,
some
and
apple.
steadily adding more diversity to the orchard understory. But in addition to these pea shrubs, we also have bundleflower, Desmanthus illinoinensis, which dives back to the ground every year, and senna.
Okay.
Another one that dies back to the ground every year, but has very strong roots to come back every year very nicely. And it's right near where the septic tank empties out, and right there it's like massive. It gets really happy there.
Yeah, I bet.
We put
Senna is used for dye, right?
No, that's no, senna's for if you're kind of constipated. It's something that you want to take.
Right. Yeah.
The roots are black.
Really?
Yeah. Fibrous, but yeah, I bet you get a dark dye from them, from the roots. I'd be curious to look that up. You can see some parsley volunteering, because when you let parsley go to seed, you end up with a lot of seed. So I scatter seed everywhere into the mulch.
I see a little yarrow here.
Oh,
Yes, yarrow's a very good one.
Yeah, the yarrow we had at the old house. Like I started it from seed. I started with like a couple clumps of it, and I think it took 2 years to take over my entire medicinal garden.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't take long. I'm trying to grow the non-white varieties.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I mean, the white's lovely, and I just want more color in the orchard. But let's see, other legumes is red bud, and of course the black locust, and we have thornless honey locust in the hedge.
Oh, out front.
Yeah, on the edges.
Tasty wood sorrel.
Yeah. And of course you've probably seen the big garden sorrel that I grow. The one that never flowers, hasn't flowered in 30 years. And you just keep dividing the root clumps.
Oh yeah, we should divide ours.
Yeah, we should.
And I got it in, I think, 20.
Do you have some of that variety?
Yeah,
Did I give you some? Or you got some at the market?
The first time I met Liberty was when I came to the plant sale that she had in front of the trailer out there.
That's where that's from.
And I got rosemary and that French sorrel.
Yeah, that sorrel is amazing.
Oh, so
good.
Yeah, the kids all like going outside and grabbing leaves to munch on.
Yeah, the kids chow down.
Even little Sky, he knows that that's like the only edible thing, and he goes directly to that in the medicine garden and grabs a leaf and walks off.
I can't eat as much as I'd like because the oxalates aggravate
Ah.
my arthritis. But
interesting.
yeah, I still like the taste. I still put it in salads, but I just don't eat a lot of it. I've been going out in the orchard today, pulling up.
What's that?
Honeysuckle.
Oh, honeysuckle, yeah.
Bush honeysuckle.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that you showed me how easy it is to pull, because before I was trying to cut it down and keep coming back. And
then no, you uproot it, and it's easy to pull up. It's shallow rooted. And even the big ones are pretty easy to pull up if you have a weed wrench. By the way, we have a weed wrench if you want to borrow it.
Oh yeah, those things are super handy.
Wonderful.
So when we were biking on the trail and there was honeysuckle on either side, it was just the most gorgeous smell. But it reminded me of when I was a kid. I used to, suck the honey out of the flowers. Can you do that on the ones that grow up here?
Not that I know. Now you're thinking the flowering vine, the honeysuckle.
Maybe. We had a bunch of honeysuckle growing up.
Extremely fragrant.
The ones on the trail weren't a vine. That smelled so good.
Yeah, the Asian honeysuckle.
But the ones growing up in Florida, I don't know whether they were the vine or the bush, but I just remember they were growing in our yard. And we would suck the honey, like this sweet nectar, out of the bottom of them. It's not quite the same.
I know these flowers are medicinal.
No, these aren't quite the same. Because there's like
I know what you mean,
big
though.
part on the bottom that you would bite off and suck, and it was like honey.
There are many cultivars. Some have bigger flowers. There's a vining one with long tubular red flowers. It's quite elegant. And they have a lot of nectar in them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is your campground area here?
Yeah. We got to get in. I got to come in and do some mowing in there. And,
this is a cute little trail.
Then we've opened this new trail into an area that's going to be the new mushroom wood lot, or mushroom yard.
Oh, how
Are you
cute.
doing more shiitakes, or you're going to do some other varieties?
Yeah, we might add some new varieties. The wonderful thing you've been probably smelling is this here.
Oh yeah, the autumn olive.
Autumn olive. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we love
If you're going to be in a horrible opportunist species, you might as well smell good, huh?
Yeah, and taste good. I love the berries.
Oh,
The
yeah, we
berries,
love
yeah.
them.
And
oh
we
my
had,
gosh, the kids can eat them all day
day.
long.
Yeah.
Oh my
we
gosh.
had
we love
over at the
them.
old house, we
I
had a
want
variety that was orange.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
And then there's
We have
one that had particularly large berries. That's the one we'd go to, and we could fill up a container real quick with those. And we made autumn olive fruit leather, and it was because they were
yummy.
bigger. We were able to get
How'd you get the
more out of
seeds
it.
out?
Just did we use a food mill,
Food mill?
I don't know if we did.
Oh,
or did we just use it?
Peter tried to
push
food
it
mill
through a sieve.
try to make some jam out of it. He said it was a real bear to get the seeds
Yeah,
separated
what did we
from the
use?
pulp.
I
I don't remember if I just
remember
pushed it through
using a mill.
through a sieve.
Or what? Well, we'd like to hear more on this subject.
Yeah.
I found
the
I found a
best
website, or someone posted something on Facebook, and I went to the web page, and it had instructions that worked well for it.
Oh yeah, we'll have to find it again.
So your pallet pile here, I'm curious if you got that from the liquidation store in Whitehall.
No, these were from the tri-state,
Tri-County.
tri-county.
I was curious because they've often got these like blue pallets in there. A lot of places that give away pallets, they're partly broken, but that place in Whitehall often, like, you know, it's one of those pallet stores. They sell returns,
Right.
and they just have tons of pallets that they.
Well, there's a place nearby where I used to get them, but they said we discontinued our policy of offering them to people.
No.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Here's a service berry that is a cultivar of one of the varieties growing at the mall in Bloomington.
Okay.
Because you know they always make running shoots that pop up nearby,
That's escaping.
Yeah, I see
and
that.
they always escape. And so
Jailbreak.
I yanked them out of the ground and moved them, and
There's a tree.
free is a good price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a tree that you have on the northern tree line that's spreading like this, and I assumed at our house in New Era we had
We have cherry.
Cherry.
Spreading like mad. Cherries
We
are
had plum.
notorious.
They were
for
just
spreading
whole
runners.
like 20 by 20 area just filled with like the plums that ran.
Mm.
Yeah. We have wild plums in the hedge too, and they're tasty enough, but the animals spread the seeds everywhere, and so I'm sure we're going to have lots of wild plum seedlings showing up. It's kind of like northern New Hampshire where I lived, where animals spread apples.
Really?
Yeah, when they forested most of New Hampshire, it came back in apples, in wild apples. Thousands and thousands and thousands of them.
Well, that's
And,
a great forest.
We used to press
Wow.
the wild apples with the cultivated apples for a very, very nice cider.
Mm.
Down in between Sparta and Rockford, on the stretch of it's like maybe 13-mile road. There's an abandoned apple orchard, and the apple trees are like 40 feet tall.
Yeah. They hardly ever grow commercially that size anymore,
Yeah, and I don't know if it's just from like not being pruned because it was an abandoned orchard.
or somebody's homestead, more likely. Here's one of the many willows I'm trying to grow here. This is a basket willow that makes lots of long, skinny stems.
Oh, fun.
So we need to get somebody who teaches basketry to come here and show us how to use all of the materials that I have growing here.
Did Liberty say that you make baskets?
I've made baskets, yes. I'm untrained, but that didn't stop me.
Oh, the sky's white.
We're about to have water lilies bloom in these two ponds here. I'm so excited because I need water lilies to cover the surfaces of these ponds to keep them cooler. It's also why I planted the pawpaws on the south edge over here, so they can add more shade. This pond benefits from the shade of the pine tree in the afternoon, and so it runs a little cooler, and it doesn't get quite as green from algae.
Have you ever tried barley straw?
I have, and I think I would like to find some barley straw bales to sink it into the edge of the pond, because they will help clear up the algae. Not sure exactly why.
So y'all dug these ponds 5-8 years ago,
Yeah, longer than that.
and Liberty said fish just appeared.
Well, some fish have showed up. I suspect they came with the duckweed from a friend's pond as little minnows.
Oh, okay.
But of course, there's goldfish in here, and they reproduce. So you've had many swarms of baby goldfish. I'm sure wildlife thin them.
Can they survive the winter?
Yes, no problem.
Oh, I bet they eat all the mosquito larvae that would come out of here.
Because our landscape is entirely sand, these ponds had to be lined. So after I dug them and gave them plenty of complexity in their profile on the bottom of the pond, steps on this end, couple high spots in there, and and of course the whole pond edge has a shelf, as it were, for emergent plants.
Yeah, I see that.
Up. But I lined it with carpet, and with the pile up. And then 2 sheets of cheap builder's plastic.
Also the carpet to protect the plastic.
And then another layer of carpet on top of that, with the pile down.
Okay, what's that do?
Well, it protects the plastic.
Okay. What's the deepest point of the pond?
At least 4 feet, more like 5.
Okay. Did you dig all these by hand?
I dug them all by hand. Yeah.
Oh, wow. How's your back doing?
Not as good as it used to be. But these are magical places. That's why we often come down here to sit.
Yeah. I often look over and see people sitting out here.
The frogs, they come in waves, and we have at least a half a dozen varieties that did show up. And build it and they will come, as it were, you know.
And the kids love coming over here and watching the frogs.
Yeah, and Bonnie loves to get in here and just chill. Yeah. I think she also eats some of the frogs too.
Oh.
She eats it practically everything. I've never seen such an omnivorous dog, but she is doing a good job. She's going after rodents, the ground squirrels, and voles, and the little bunnies.
Okay.
And right now the bunnies are little and will go through a 2-inch by 4-inch hole in a fence.
Yeah, we had that problem at the last house, and even the bigger looking rabbits I'd come in the garden and they just bound through the garden, just dive through the fence. And
it's amazing.
The inner fence was that what's it called? It's got smaller holes on the bottom, and then the holes get bigger to help prevent rabbits, but the rabbits didn't care.
The rabbits didn't care. They just go to the bigger holes up high and just climb right through, especially in the winter.
Yeah, when there's snow, that they can get up a little higher. Yeah. All right, well, we have an awake baby.
Okay, time to boogie, hey?
Yep. Allie
nice
just
chatting.
ran over there. It's nice chatting to you, too. We'll have to do this again.
I'm sure we'll do some more of this, because we wander into a new spot and we have a whole new conversation.
Yeah, this is fun. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for joining us in the forest. If you felt a spark, share this episode and leave a review. It helps grow the mycelial network.
Follow our journey on Facebook and TikTok at Soulfire Forest. And until next time, stay rooted and radiant.